Well, I'm nearly at the end of my journey through the first season of modern Doctor Who, but before we get to the finale, we have to talk about an episode that I'm not particularly fond of, but it still has some interesting things to talk about. Boomtown. Have you ever wondered what happens when the Doctor faces an enemy who was not just about world domination? It's an episode that focuses on the moral dimensions inherent in time and space travel. It's something that we've seen before in the classic era, but here it's played out in a new and interesting way. How will the Doctor justify his decision regarding the fate of the episode's antagonist? Considering his usual stance on justice and mercy, this is going to be an interesting one. Let's find out as we go beyond the sofa. As we edge closer to the crescendo of the first modern Doctor Who season, we stumble upon Boomtown, an episode, whilst not universally adored, presents a canvas rich with moral complexities. Imagine a world where the fabric of time isn't just a backdrop for adventure, but a mirror reflecting our deepest ethical quandaries. Boomtown does exactly that, thrusting the Doctor into a moral maze with no easy exits. Here, in the heart of Cardiff, an old foe resurfaces, not with a plan for domination, but with a plea for mercy, turning the Doctor's usual black and white world into shades of grey. How do you judge somebody who's changed yet carries the weight of their past crimes? This episode challenges the Doctor to confront the nuances of justice, redemption, and the impact of one's actions across the cosmos. Can the Doctor reconcile his stance on justice with the situation at hand? Or will this encounter leave more questions than answers?
So, what are you doing in Cardiff, and who the hell's Jumping Jack Flash? I mean, I don't mind you hanging out with big ears up there.
Oi!
Boomtown occupies a fascinating niche within Doctor Who, particularly within the inaugural season of the revival series. Originally, the episode was set to embark on a radically different journey under the pen of Paul Abbott, a writer known for his deep narrative-driven storytelling. However, due to Abbott's departure from the project, Russell T Davies stepped in to fill the void, ultimately shaping Boomtown into a reflective piece on consequences and redemption. This transition from one writer's vision to another raises intriguing considerations about the episode's development and the thematic focus.
Take me home and you take me to my death.
Davies is known for his ability to intertwine complex character dynamics with broader social themes. With Boomtown, he revisits the Slovene from the earlier episode in the season, offering not just a continuation of their story, but a deeper dive into the nuances of their motivations and the implications of the Doctor's decisions. This pivot in the approach to storytelling invites us to ponder the effects of such production changes on the episode's tone and character arcs. Moreover, the episode's place within the broader season that saw the Doctor grappling with the aftermath of the Time War adds another layer of context. And the themes of Boomtown are clearly influenced by its unique production journey, contributing to the season's overarching examination of loss, guilt, and redemption.
I spared her life.
You let one of them go, but that's nothing new.
In Boomtown, the unexpected encounter with Margaret Blaine in Cardiff serves as a pivotal moment, not just for the storyline, but for the character development of the Doctor and his companions. Surprised to find Margaret, a member of this nefarious Slovene family, alive and holding a position of power in Cardiff, the group is thrust into a complex web of moral dilemmas. Margaret's plea for mercy, juxtaposed against her past actions, challenges the Doctor's principles and his usually black and white stance on justice.
You've been in that skin suit too long. You've forgotten. There used to be a real Margaret Blaine. You killed her and stripped her and used the skin. You're pleading for mercy out of a dead woman's lips.
This encounter forces the Doctor to confront the grey areas of morality in a universe where good and evil are often seen as distinct. Margaret, previously an unambiguous villain, now presents herself as reformed, seeking compassion from those she once wronged. This raises the question of whether individuals can change and if they deserve forgiveness and a second chance. But will the Doctor be swayed by her apparent change of heart, or will her past crimes dictate his decisions? The dinner conversation between the Doctor and Margaret in Boomtown serves as a profound exploration of the themes of redemption and justice, pivotal not just for the episode but for the series' broader moral discourse. This encounter, set against the backdrop of a seemingly mundane dinner, unfolds as a compelling ethical debate that challenges both the characters and the viewers. Margaret, once a clear-cut antagonist, presents herself as reformed, pleading for mercy and a chance to live a new life free from her past transgressions. This claim forces the Doctor into a moral quandary as he grapples with the decision of whether to hand her over for execution or to believe in her capacity for change.
Give me a chance, Doctor. I can change.
I don't believe you.
This moment is emblematic for the series' ability to intertwine personal transformation with broader questions of morality. The conversation delves into what it means to truly change, questioning if individuals are forever defined by their past actions or if they can move beyond them through genuine reform. It challenges the Doctor's own principles, testing his beliefs in forgiveness, justice, and the possibility of redemption. As the dialogue unfolds, viewers are invited to reflect on these questions, pondering the complexities of administering justice in a world where right and wrong are not always black and white. But we have a further complication here. It's not just justice that Margaret is running from, but death itself. The Doctor has often been firmly opposed to the death penalty. This stance is rooted in the character's moral code, which prioritises understanding, rehabilitation and mercy over punishment and vengeance. The Doctor's aversion to the death penalty is influenced by his extensive experience across time and space, witnessing the complexity of life and the capacity for change in individuals. This perspective makes the Doctor more inclined to seek alternatives, favouring solutions that allow for growth and redemption. So in Boomtown, we're not just asking if a criminal can be forgiven, but rather whether the worst punishment imaginable will be dished out. And if that's the case, can the Doctor, the moral centre of the story, really allow that punishment to take place? The episode reaches a critical moment when Margaret interacts with the TARDIS, eliciting an unforeseen response that significantly alters the narrative's course. This interaction not only highlights the TARDIS's mysterious and sentient nature, but also further pushes the Doctor's limits regarding the use of its power. This is quite a smart decision in terms of scripting. A lot of writing is about taking a single character and pushing them to their limits, and then pushing them further than their limits and seeing how they react. Margaret's interaction with the TARDIS is doing just that. Faced with the decision of leveraging the TARDIS's capabilities for personal judgment, the Doctor grapples with the ethical implications of such actions.
Here she is.
She's an egg.
Regress to a childhood.
She's an egg.
This scenario underscores the TARDIS as more than a time-travelling machine. It has its own character, capable of influencing outcomes based on a set of unknown criteria. The Doctor's hesitation to use the TARDIS's power for personal gain or punishment reflects his deep-seated beliefs in the fairness and the value of life, regardless of past deeds. This moment serves as a pivotal exploration of the relationship between the Doctor, the TARDIS, and the intricate dance between justice and mercy, highlighting the complexity of moral decision-making when confronted with the potential for absolute power. The TARDIS, acting as an enigmatic moral compass, offers Margaret a chance at redemption, sparing her from the fate of execution. This outcome leaves a profound impact not only on Margaret, but also on the Doctor and his companions. Margaret's reprieve prompts deep introspection amongst the characters. For the Doctor, it challenges his unwavering commitment to justice and his reluctance to compromise his principle, even in the face of heinous crimes. This experience forces him to acknowledge the shades of grey within the universe's moral landscape, recognising that individuals can change and deserve opportunities for redemption.
This is persecution. Why can't you leave me alone? What did I ever do to you?
You tried to kill me and destroy this entire planet.
Apart from that.
It's a sobering realisation for the Doctor, who has often grappled with the burden of being the moral arbiter, especially in the wake of the Time War. This is something that we don't often see, as moments where the Doctor actually exacts revenge happen very rarely. I may be wrong, but I believe we don't really see anything like this again until Human Nature. Boomtown, then, is an interesting character study, and it feels like this episode was made on a budget, probably to offset what we were about to see with the double episode finale. Honestly, I don't really mind that, as it allows the show to give us occasional grandeur without breaking the bank.
I'm afraid these stories are nothing more than typical small-town thinking. I really haven't got time, if you'll excuse me.
The issue with this one is really the pacing. Now, there's nothing wrong with a slow-paced narrative, but Boomtown is strangely paced at the end of a fairly fast-paced season. And whilst it's essential for the series like Doctor Who to explore different tones of storytelling and different approaches, the abrupt shift from an action-packed adventure to a more introspective episode does feel rather jarring. It's not that Boomtown is a bad episode per se. The dialogue is actually very well written and the character interactions are engaging. However, its juxtaposition with the high-stakes build-up to a season finale can make it feel out of place. The slower pace of Boomtown left me wanting more action and resolution, especially considering the impending double-episode finale. That said, the writing of this episode shines. The cleverly crafted dialogue adds depth to the characters, allowing them to explore their emotions and convictions in a way that feels genuine.
Is there a Mr. Blaine?
Not anymore. I'm all on my own. I had quite a sizable family once upon a time. Wonderful brothers. Oh, they were bold. But all of them gone now.
The interactions between the Doctor and Margaret in particular are highlighted, showing the moral dimensions and conflicts in a compelling manner. So whilst this episode's pacing may be a little bit puzzling, the quality of the writing still manages to captivate and provide a valuable insight into the characters' inner struggles. All in all, I think it would be difficult to call this a bad episode, but it should be acknowledged that it feels out of place for Doctor Who at this time. Perhaps this is really because the series was still finding its feet, and subsequent series wouldn't struggle with episodes like this. The episode also suffers from a lack of possible returning villain. It's clear this story only works because of the pre-existing relationship between Margaret and the Doctor. And so few villains existed in this time in the new Who canon, it really could have only been accomplished with the Slovene. But for a returning audience, this is a little bit of a different approach to the series, one that's a little more like something of the short stories or Big Finish productions that we've seen. It was actually a bold choice, placing this character drama at the very end of a series, but one that's interesting to revisit. Without the trappings of watching it in its original run, you do get a very interesting episode here. It allows for deeper exploration of character dynamics and moral dilemmas that may not have been as prominent in the other episodes of the season. So, whilst Boomtown may not fit the typical mould of a Doctor Who episode, it is a unique, thought-provoking instalment that installs a different perspective on the Doctor Who world. That's what I think anyway. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this episode, and I do hope that we can join me next time we go Beyond the Sofa.